All right, I think we're live at this point. I actually wanted to be a couple. I was actually going to be live at 8:08, but stupid microphone wasn't working. So yeah, I had to figure a couple things out. And yeah, what's going on in the chat? Yo, what's going on? Sorry, I was a couple minutes late. I had to figure something out with the microphone, and it does that. I must have had like 30 different StreamYard tabs open because it does that when I have like 30 different StreamYard tabs. Oh, shoot. Yeah, sorry, I do this outside. I don't know why. I just love it outside here. I don't know. So everyone's coming into the chat right now. What's going on? It's 8:21 p.m. Yeah, I just knocked a couple stones off my stone wall. I'm gonna fix that once the stream is over. It's only one, I think. But you know what's starting to get noticeable? I just like walking around out here, so yeah. We're going live. I don't know how many hours I'll be on for tonight. I mean, obviously I'm not gonna be able to do a 2-hour live every time. What's going on, Feathered Friends Homestead? I know you got the snow recently. I think it says like 7 inches, looked like 7 to 9 inches. Hey, that's 7 to 9 inches, but it was very wet and heavy. I could tell. I saw some branches hanging down, and I mean, 7 to 9 inches of snow. That's still 7 to 9 inches of snow, but you know, over here we usually get 1 or 2 wet and heavy snowstorms at the start of the season. Then it's powdery snow and you get a little gusty winds over here, and snow blows around, creates massive drifts, sometimes taller than I am. So there was one storm last winter, we got drifts as high as 8 feet. And then again, the drifts are massive. So yeah, watch out if you're going to be in that type of powdery snow. And then at the end of the season, we get another 1 to 2 wet and heavy snowstorms. So yeah, I don't know how the season's going to play out here. It's been pretty snow deprived over here. Got one good snow, and that was it. That snow lasted for a couple hours. Basically like every snow up here in New England does. You get the snow and it melts in a couple hours. So what's going on? If you're coming in the chat right now, it's about 8 p.m. I was actually going to be right on time for once, but then microphone issues came into play. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Shoveling wet and heavy snow, very hard to do. You have to, sometimes the shovel will break. I mean, one winter, we got I think we got just about 2 feet of wet and heavy snow. I bet you can imagine how, like, I think it was like 20 or 21 inches of really wet snow. And the shovel broke while trying to shovel that. So you always want to do it in small bits. When you have long driveways, that's painful and excruciating work to shovel 2 feet of wet and heavy snow. But, you know, that was a couple winters ago, and we're going to try to forget that. Forget that I ever broke my shovel in feet of wet and heavy snow. So, yeah, hopefully we get the snow. It's been really snow deprived up here. We got 7 inches, and that was it. I don't know about I don't know about any of y'all in the chat, but it got way too cold too early. We already had a low in the teens by October. It was already below freezing by September. In August, we had lows in the 40s already. And yeah, last month we had a low in the single digits, and this month we had a high in the sub-zeros. It's just been a really weird year. I'm scared to imagine what's going to happen next month. I'm very scared to imagine. I bet you next month we're going to have a high of our current record low in the state, which I believe is like negative 36 or something like that. It's either 26 or 36. I keep forgetting. But whatever's going to happen next month is what's going to happen. I don't want to imagine, since we already had a sub-zero low and even a sub-zero high in December. Our previous record low this month was -4, and now it's just about -20. So yeah, just way too cold up here. You know, minus 20 degrees is very hard to deal with. And when you're talking about snow blowers can break in a lot of snow sometimes. It's happened. You either get a lot of snow from one snowstorm, and also like one thing, every time they say we're going to get a blizzard here, the blizzard happens, but it doesn't appear as if we actually got as much snow as they were saying. But then they're calling for 1 to 3 inches of snow, and then we get 18 inches of snow. That's how storms work up here. So yeah, just had about a 5-minute conversation about the snow. -19, so just a little bit cooler than us over here. The winds died down quickly, so by the time it was in the single digits, there wasn't really any wind. The wind was bitter the next day, but that was really it. There wasn't anything else. That was it. That was the only thing that we saw. We just saw some bitter cold, and then yeah, from there on out, it just got real cold. What's going on, Mr. Pumpkin? I believe you're a lot further south than I am. I know you probably I don't know exactly where you're from. I know it's somewhere a lot southern more than I am. I bet she was like 80 or 90. Well, over here, it was freezing cold. It was below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Couldn't tell you what that is in Celsius, but it was below 0. It was, I think it was probably like negative 18. So it gets real cold over here. Up in these parts, it could get, over here, you can get these days in the winter where it never gets above 0. And this hasn't happened since 84, so, you know what? That might have never happened since 84, but it did happen. And, yeah, it's a sad truth. It did end up happening. I would prefer that would have just been all a bunch of snow. And I know you've probably never seen snow since, well, by the looks of things, you live in a lot better, more tropical zone than I'm in. Because, yeah, I bet you where you're at, you didn't get the cold. I bet you just got, like, highs in the 70s. But you know what? I bet you ain't complaining like I was about the cold. I couldn't even go outside. And man, getting in the car was awful. Like, you have to go. Like, man, you can't even stay in the car for 5 minutes before the doors will freeze on you. That's what it's like up here. You can't get in the car until the doors will freeze on you. So you have to open up the door, and it's pain. You have to break ice, and yeah. Then the house doors freeze shut. Sometimes the windows sometimes will freeze shut. And then you'll sometimes, when it was really windy, you get a draft through the window. And it gets really cold in the house when that happens. Man, it can feel like it's 20 below in the house sometimes. But for the most part, it doesn't feel like it's that cold really ever. The worst it's in the house is like, the worst it usually gets in the house is like 58, 59. It's because we always have wood still going when it's real cold, so that gets the job done. It was actually a lot warmer today. We actually got up to about 53. It's supposed to get to about 71 next week. And then, yeah, it's supposed to fall off really quickly because they're already forecasting 6 inches of snow at the end of the 10-day forecast. Yippee. I don't want 6 inches of snow. I would take it. I'd rather take 0.6 inches of rain than 6 inches of snow. Yeah, cannot wait. I mean, it's probably less than a quarter of an inch at this point, but hey. If they're actually saying we're going to get 6 inches of snow, well, that's content, but at the end of the day, I don't want to have to shovel that. Because I don't know how much snow all y'all get, but sometimes you get these big blizzards and snowstorms. And when there's going to be like a big blizzard, or they're saying we're going to get 3 feet of snow here, yes, that's just about a meter of snow for some of y'all that don't use feet. Just about a meter of snow. Sometimes more than that. We can get sometimes up to 2 meters of snow here. So yeah, you get up to like a meter of snow, and everyone's panicking. The shelves are empty. Everything's empty. Yeah. Oh, y'all got. Yeah, that's a rough transition. Rain to snow is a really bad transition. Like, you can get real cold, real fast, and then the ground isn't yet frozen, so it could be below freezing, and then snow is trying to accumulate, but it doesn't. So it just adds on to the misery that you end up having to feel when the transition from rain to snow occurs. But yeah, usually up here, it's usually all snow or all rain. There's usually never a transition. Maybe at the end of the storm, there might be a transition over to showers. That's pretty much it. That's all we usually get from transitions from rain to snow. And yeah, a couple of years ago, we got a pretty big one. And I mean, right before we got like 1.5 feet of snow, we got really heavy rain. Happened the day before, and then the day after, there's snow everywhere. Man, they were forecasting 3 to 6 inches, with totals locally up to 10. And we went to bed that night, and yeah, it was really rainy. And like at about 2 in the morning, I got a little curious of what's going on out there. So I look at the window, and the snow is blowing around it. It's probably more than 5 inches at that point. So I go back to bed, wake up the next day, and there's just under 2 feet of snow out there. We have some rough transitions over here. That's pretty much the worst it'll get, is you get the transition from rain over to snow. And yeah, when it transitions from rain to snow, you have to deal with that really wet and heavy snow. So breaks your shovel sometimes, and it also weighs down the tree branches. I remember he said that it was weighing down your tree branches. I don't know if it actually broke any of them. I know you're talking about how it got real, like snowy, and then it tried weighing down your tree branches. And don't know if any of them actually collapsed. I remember a couple years ago. I don't know what it's like in the month of April where y'all are at, but here in April it's usually about like 58, 59 degrees for highs and like 30s for lows. And then one day it got into the 20s at night in April. And yeah, there's a front moving through. We got probably close to 7 inches of snow. And that was all wet and heavy. And because it was like 33 when that was all falling, yeah, I think we lost power for a couple hours. So when you got snow, really late snow or really early snow, yeah, it's all going to be wet and heavy. So yeah, be very careful when it comes to that type of snow. And I know some of y'all out there have to do the shoveling, and we all know how really painful and bad shoveling is. Because, yeah, I think everyone in the chat that sees accumulatable snow at all knows how bad shoveling can be. When it's really wet and heavy snow, like you have to get into there, you have to dig down. And even if it's like 3 feet, 4 feet of fluffy snow, you have to dig down or else your shovel's going to snap. Nothing broke yet. It's supposed to warm up tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, usually once the sun hits wet and heavy snow, it always falls off the branches, even if it's like 10 degrees out. And when it's really cold, like really, really cold, you'll get snow, it accumulates, and then it vaporizes, basically. And it just disappears. I don't think that happens until at least, like, negative 20, negative 25 degrees. Sometimes 30 below. That's when you're going to start to see that occurring. So, yeah, you could have, like, 6 inches of snow, and then it'll go down to, like, 4 inches when it's just that cold out. Because, you know, sometimes that will end up occurring. So, yeah, y'all are getting more snow than we are. Y'all are getting a lot more snow than we are, actually. Use a snowblower for the rest. I just dug the animals out. Yeah, digging out animals. Yeah, we have to do that sometimes. And then, yeah, when you go out there with a shovel, and when it comes to chickens, because we have a massive open area, and the snow just gets into that yard. Like, there's 8 inches of snow. 8 inches of snow outside the yard, and there's 8 inches of snow in the yard. I'm actually going to show you my yard setup real quick. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there is something over here. My chicken yard's right there. You might be able to see a little glimpse of it. It's really well open. And, yeah, digging all that snow out of there is not very fun. So you have to get in there with a good shovel. You have to plow path for the chickens, put down some hay or shavings or whatever you want. And then, yeah, then the chickens are going to be out there for a couple of minutes of the day. Until you shovel more snow out, and then they're going to go find other areas. Yeah. So, snow blowing and digging out of snow is, really the way to go if you really want to do anything in snow. I know since you're up in Colorado, down in Colorado, because, yeah, you're at a much further south altitude than I am. And I bet you in the area you're at, y'all get a lot more snow than we do get up here. So, I know where you're at right now, you could probably easily, like, get a cold front come through, and then it gets real cold, and, like, you could easily get one good old atmospheric river that'll come through, and already you have good 3 feet of snow. That's what it's like up in the Rockies, sometimes 4 feet. What's up, God's Construction? What is going on? Oh, the chat jumped again. Tried to highlight this message, but it jumped. Common issue on these streams. And, oh, I realized I forgot to actually drop the invite link in the chat. I'm actually very surprised I forgot. But yeah, we're going to post that in the chat. So if anyone wants to come up into the chat tonight, it's going to be right there. That's going to be the invite link to the chat. Because I know most of my events are pretty much community driven. We're going to do a couple more lives this week. And definitely we're going to be doing New Year's Eve ball drop. We might do a little reaction if I can figure out how to share my screen on mobile. Yeah. Yeah, since you're in clear plastic, I bet you the chickens were a lot warmer than they would be over here. We didn't even bother letting out the chickens on Christmas Eve because of how cold it was. Man, everyone in the chat say, "Oh, we got like X amount of snow on Christmas Eve, whatever you want to call it," and we're over here. We got like nothing. There was a little bit of flurries at the end of the storm. It was a bit of a snow squall, and since the ground was still pretty wet, nothing happened. Yeah. I bet you y'all got a lot more snow than we did. Even if it was just light coating, that's still more than we got. We got nothing. Absolutely nothing. And, yeah. I wish we got something, but, yeah, we didn't get anything. So we spent the first 15 minutes of the stream talking about snow. I'm really going to try these transitions out where I sort of talk about one thing for 15 minutes. This is a discussion. This is a discussion. I talk way too fast. I fumble over my words a lot when I talk way too fast. So this is a discussion. And yeah, so basically we're going to be talking about a couple of things tonight. I don't know exactly what we're going to talk about because there's a lot of things to go over. For one, yeah, that Christmas storm, I remember a lot of y'all got there. I believe that 89 people were left dead because of the winter storm. I bet most of them were on like car pileups because I know you get those whiteout conditions. And when that happens, you get these car pileups because you can't see anything in front of you. So, can't see shit. So then cars pile into each other on the highways. And yeah, and the impacts are really bad. So always be careful when there's supposed to be a blizzard. Always remember there's always a risk of a car crash somewhere. I believe close to 90 people ended up perishing because of that storm. And then in Buffalo alone, those 2 dozen, I believe. Because they got like 4 feet of snow. They got a good 4 feet of snow there. There were 8-foot deep drifts. And they got lake effect snow all the way till the day after Christmas. Well, we're over here, we got nothing. So yeah. They got lake effect snow all the way up till Christmas. We got no snow. I mean, we live just outside of a lake, not big enough to cause lake effect snow. I mean, at the very most, it would cause like 0.1 inches of, like where I'm at, we could have like 4 inches, and up there at the lake, they could be 4.1 inches. It's the best you're gonna get over here. It's the closest you can get to lake effect snow, even though that's not how it works. You need a bigger body of water, and yeah, you get some cold moisture goes over, and it causes ridiculously cold, ridiculously flash freezing, and like it gets real cold in those lake effect snowstorms. And they come so quickly, they're not even predictable. They're like snow squalls, except a lot worse. Like in snow squalls, you'll get like a dusting of snow. I think the most snow I got from a snow squall was probably like 2 inches. But out there in Buffalo, yeah, those are like lake effect snowstorms. Lake effect snowstorms can easily produce up to a foot, and they can come out of nowhere. Over here, a foot of snow is really well tracked out. Over there, a foot of snow can happen at any time, and it's not even a rare occurrence. They get 2 feet of snow, 3 feet of snow, without it even needing to be forecast, because they already know what the drill is when around like come late October, early November. They already know what the drill is. They know when to get ready for those massive snowstorms, and they come through so quickly and leave so quickly. Like over here, usually it takes a good old day, maybe like 15, 16 hours to get 6 inches of snow. But no, over there in like Buffalo, Watertown, they do 6 inches of snow in like 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes. Sometimes even just an hour. And then when you have these massive snowstorms that go over there and sort of collide with the lakes, since it's sort of warm, yeah, so over here, we could be looking at like a foot. A couple times over, they could be looking at 16 inches, and then a couple times over from that, like 25, 30 inches. Oh shoot, there's something down there. I couldn't tell what it was. I must have dropped something. I don't know. I only have my phone in my hands. So yeah, be very careful if you're out on the lakes. But when you're over here, your biggest concern should be snow squalls. They don't usually produce too much. They just produce something that gets the job done, and unfortunately, that does mean 2 on the highways. So always remember, because like I believe on your phone you can get a snow squall warning. Like I remember once where I was taking a day off, and I got a snow squall warning. We were well away from where I was right now. This is last year. We hop in the car, and there was so much blowing snow, you couldn't see anything. They're like pop up out of nowhere, and all of a sudden you get 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. They come out of nowhere, and they do a lot of damage. So be very careful this winter, because I bet it's going to happen a lot more this winter. Considering there's a lot of moisture around, then there's probably going to be a lot of lake effect snowstorms out here this winter. All right, we spent about 20 minutes talking about snow. So yeah, let's move on to something better than snow, because I'm pretty sure everyone's already had it with snow this year. Even if you just got a light coating of snow this year, I bet you most of y'all in the chat have already had it with snow. I know I've pretty much had it with winter at this point. It's just been too cold. So yeah, we're going to be talking about a couple other things that are worth talking about this stream. Like for one, we're going to talk about shoveling snow. I remember I made a whole video about it, but it would be better explained in a snowstorm than anything else. But here we go. I'm just gonna talk about it on stream real quick. So I have so I'm gonna turn on my camera. So I have 2 shovels right here. So this one right here would be really good for shoveling a walkway like right there, and this is better for the driveway. That's how shovels work. So yeah, we just talk about that real quick. The bigger shovel, the best way to shovel snow is to put it at the foot of the driveway, and then you put it there, and then you sort of move it down a little bit, and you sort of like move it across. Yeah, there's rocks on my driveway right now, so that's why it makes that obnoxious sound. Plus, there's nothing to shovel. If there was something to shovel, yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this winter. The only reason I like snow is because I get a day off. That's it. It's the only good part about snow. And of course, I make good videos. That's pretty much it. It's the only good part about snow. So you make good videos and you get a day off. Other than that, snow is just hot garbage. Like, imagine you're just out there, you need to go somewhere quickly, going out to your car, you're not even wearing gloves, and you trip and fall, face plant into the snow. And yeah, your fingers are going to be frozen by the end of that. So you always remember, snow shoveling is a good thing, but when you can't get the areas where that needs to be shoveled, like you just fall right into a snowbank, yeah, that happens a lot. So yeah, I face planted in snow when there was still snow on the ground this year. So yeah, snow on the ground sometimes means face planting in snow. So be careful not to trip when you're out on snow. And always make sure that you have a good, like, I would recommend taking a snowblower and snow blowing a good path through snow. Yeah, y'all don't get much over there. I know you're in like Tasmania. You probably will get like, I know you probably get like 2 to 4 inches of snow maximum. Well, over here, we get 2 to 4 inches of snow. No, easy. We can go out there like 2 to 4 centimeters of snow. Sounds like a lot for a lot of people, but over here, 2 centimeters is like an inch of snow. We could literally still be operating a normal day out here in 2 inches of snow. Some days we could still be operating a normal day in a meter of snow. It's happened before. Probably will happen again soon. I'm praying this winter we don't get 39 inches of snow, because that's gonna ruin so many things here. Yeah. I know Houston, Texas hasn't seen probably only see snow once like a couple of years. So like maybe like 3 to 6 years you only see snow there. But over here, it happens basically every winter. So yeah, it's pretty cold right now. It's winter time up here, and yeah, it happens basically every winter over here. What's going on? Sorry I missed it. It was Radio John C. that's in the chat. I bet I pronounced your name incorrectly. I'm sorry. I'm really good at pronouncing people's names incorrectly over here. Welcome to the Chicken Chat, where I pronounce everyone's name incorrectly. All right. But yeah, we do get plentiful snow up here, and it's really rough too. What's going on, Tori's Brain Games? I don't know when you're doing your next live. It's been a little bit. I don't know if YouTube's notifications ain't working or something, but I haven't seen one of your lives since the live-a-thon. I think that was the last time I saw one of your lives. I haven't seen any of them since. I don't know if it's YouTube's awful notification system or their inability to actually recommend me decent videos. But come on, I want to watch the videos I want to watch. I don't want to watch some random video that's something I don't usually watch that has like 3 views. I want to watch, Tori's Brain Games. I want to watch Micro Farmer. I want to watch Hands in the Dirt. I want to watch something like I want to watch like Rio John C. But then YouTube recommends me the type of crap I don't watch at all. Their algorithms have been broken since probably the end of last month. Yeah, can never. Yeah, I'd say that always works. Not all the time, but it works some of the times. Yeah. I don't know if you have notifications on, but like every time I see a channel that like, oh, they have a live stream worth watching soon, I turn on notifications just for that reason. And they sort of grew on me that I just turn on notifications for every channel I'm subscribed to. But yeah. But that's pretty much the only way to go if you want them to do that. Because automatically you don't have to click send a notification for this live. It'll send it to you automatically. So yeah, that's what happens if you turn on notifications. It'll send you notifications for live automatically. And I'm gonna put that in quote brackets because yeah, sometimes it never works. I've probably not seen. Yeah, it's 7:30 where you're at. It's 8:45 right now over here. We're doing this for just shy of a half an hour. And yeah, just keep that in mind, everyone. That's going to be a big issue with this sort of things here, is that YouTube will never send the notifications. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed that, but usually I get like 30 notifications. But like, I'm not even getting notifications for the comments on my channel anymore. I remember like a little bit ago, I'll get notifications for almost every comment. Now I get one like twice a year at this point, because they refuse to send the notification for the comments. They don't even send notifications when someone hearts my comment, but they send notifications like 285 times. Like, let's just say I post a comment, it gets 285 likes. They'll send 285 different notifications saying someone liked your comment, but they refuse to send me the actual notifications I need. So yeah. Yeah, usually I'm just in the chat, because every time I actually find a word, it's probably already in the chat. So yeah, usually I'm just in the chat to play for fun and to guess. I usually probably like if I paid attention a little bit more, I would probably be able to get on the board a couple times. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about it. I love word games a lot. I play a lot of them in my free time, but when it comes time to actually do sort of like that, yeah. So 7:30. So it's your time. So at my time, 7:30 p.m. All right. All right, good. Because I remember you do multiple streams a week. And this week, I just haven't caught any notifications of them. Like, I know when you're live most of the time, because, like, see it pop up in my notifications, like, you're live, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go into the chat. But then they just refuse. But then, like, recently, they won't send any notifications, so, yeah. In fact, I literally almost missed the end of Wind Down Wednesday the other week, because they refused to send notification for that. So, yeah, it's 6:30 where you're at. Alright, yeah. It's 8:45 over here. Yeah, I'm gonna try to catch the chat tomorrow, since usually I'm usually down in the Bronx, New York on Fridays, but this week, since I have the week off, I'm not going. And I'm gonna stay here at my home, sipping some nice little hot chocolate. And I'm gonna try to catch as many lives as possible tomorrow, and sleep in also as late as possible. I'm not going back to schooling until Tuesday, so yeah, I'm gonna try to sleep in as much as I possibly can. But yeah. Alright. Yeah, sleeping as late as possible is a good thing, especially when it comes around here. I can sometimes, like the other day, didn't even go to, like the day that I did the Christmas stream, I don't even think I was in the bed until 5 in the morning, and then woke up at 1, so I still got my 8 hours of life. Like, I went to bed at 5 a.m., still got my 8 hours of rest. I found a way to do it somehow. So yeah. So yeah, sleeping in around this time of year, yeah, good thing. And then when it snows out, man, waking up to snow is probably the best thing possible. Like, man, you go to bed, saying it's supposed to snow 6 to 12 tonight. You're very enticed to see how much snow actually accumulates, and you wake up, and yeah, you get to see how much snow there is, and sometimes there ain't gonna be no school. So when you're around my age, snow days are the best. Because, I mean, some days they even canceled. Like, I remember, I wish this would happen, but a couple of years ago, there was actually snow on the finals. This wasn't when I was in upper school. So there was actually snow on the finals day in May a couple years ago, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I think this was back in 2016. So yeah, a lot longer than 3 years ago. But there was snow on the day of the finals. I think like 6 or 7 inches. Usually in May it's like 75 degrees here. But nah, they got 6 inches of snow. I think where I was at, we got like 34 inches. And yeah, I think, and yeah, they had to cancel school on that day. So yeah, no, they held the finals off till the next day though. So yeah. Oh shoot, that's not the button I wanted to press. All right. And don't y'all worry, I'm still doing a live tomorrow night. Just need to figure out what time works best. I might even do it as soon as I wake up, man. Like, I'm usually in my bed for like an hour after I wake up on the weekends, or something like this. But yeah, probably something like around noon or 11 a.m. I'm gonna go live tomorrow for like an hour or two. Still have to get my winter indoor garden all set and ready. But yeah, doing that stuff, that's what we're doing. And I remember last stream, Yeah, Mike was in the chat and he said he was killing his plants while he was listening. So, yeah, the aphids must have gotten to him. Or aphids, or however they're pronounced. I don't know. I can't figure out how a lot of things are pronounced. I think it's aphids, but it's probably aphids or whatever. I don't know. I heard the aphids got to his plants or something, so he had to kill a lot of them, and he was killing the plants while watching the stream, so, yeah. So, yeah, make sure the aphids don't get to your plants. I don't even know what they are in the first place. Based on their name, they're probably a bug. I haven't had to deal with them if they're a bug, but if they are, but if I will have to deal with them, especially in the winter indoor garden, then, well, I might just have to kill my plants. That's why we probably would put a cover over them to keep them away from the bugs. So yeah, that's my plan for the indoor garden this winter, because I know a lot of people are doing it this year because, you know, we really need more plants in the winter. And I know I'm actually thinking about doing a gardening competition in the spring. Sort of, I don't know. I might be doing a gardening competition in the spring, so yeah, if you guys want to hop into it, it's in the spring, so like probably like around like June or July. Yeah. I might do the WIG. I just need to get the plants in. I'll have all the fertilizer. You know, as soon as I hop on the stream, I might as well just plant them. I have everything I need. I have the cubic, square dirt things ready, and yeah, I might be doing it. I just have to start it and learn a lot about hydroponics, I guess. Yeah, there are nasty bugs on my cabbage plants this year. We haven't had to deal with those nasty bugs, and there's a lot of bugs that attack the cabbages, but we haven't had to deal with any of them just yet. The worst thing you got is cabbage tuber worms, which go into your peppers and other plants like that, and yeah, they take over. It's like I was making an omelet one morning back in 2020, and cracked open a pepper, and there's just like 3 or 4 yellow worms in there, and I was like, hell nah! So I go back in the garden and get another one. And guess what? I cut that one open. More cabbage tuber worms in there. Yeah, I took like 5 different peppers until there was actually one. So, you know, I was just trying to make my omelet that morning, and I couldn't figure out a way to do it without having to do that. So, glad that year was the only year I had to deal with the cabbage tuber worms. Yeah, the aphids are mad annoying. I've heard a lot of people talking crap about them, so I bet they're mad annoying. And that's a fact. There's so many bugs out there, it feels like, that are positioned just to kill your garden. That's pretty much all they're out there for. A lot of bugs are out there to just kill your garden. When they get to your garden, they destroy it in one big blast. So, yeah, be aware of what's in your garden, guys, because I know there's a lot of things in your garden that's out there to kill your plants. But whatever you do, don't use pesticides, not pesticides. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. But yeah, freeze took your garden. Yeah, I know since we're in a more southernmost community, not southernmost, like a really far deep south community, I bet you can still do an outdoor garden by like the middle of February. Well, we're up here in February. We're up here freezing icicles developing on our skin while getting like 69 feet of snow every day. You're down there getting like 70s. You can do gardening, and yeah, we can't get that until like May or June. So yeah, pretty much garden. A lot of gardening pests out there, so be very careful when it comes to that sort of stuff. So thinking about doing the WIG, I just can't figure out a time to actually do it, because yeah, when there's these challenges that are announced, I really want to do them, but then every time I try to do them, it's always too late. Like, man, I wanted to do that last chance cook-off so badly, but by the time I heard about the last chance cook-off, it was already too late. So yeah, I'm still really wanting to do it. Yeah, there are so many, like every time there's a new challenge announced, like come on, I really wanted to do, I don't know if you heard, I remember a lot back in July, like mid-July till about late July, a lot of people out there doing the T-Nog spring garden wrap-up, and I was so late. I actually filmed the damn video until I realized no one was making a video on it. That whole video was 6 minutes long, and I never put it out there. I deleted all the footage. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of bugs flying around people's homes. And yeah, the one thing I'm going to say about bugs flying around your home is The one thing we use is the one thing we're gonna use over here in my house is gonna be a fly zapper. It usually works for flies because a couple years ago we had a massive issue with flies coming into the house. Don't know what was triggering it, but there was probably close to 8,500 flies in my house. And yeah, those flies are ridiculously annoying. Yeah, the T-Nog Spring Garden wrap-up, I should have gotten a lot earlier on that one. Because by the time I was going to upload it, it was already past August 15th. So at that point, yeah. At this point, if I uploaded that, it would, I bet you everyone in the comments would be pointing out, yeah, the Spring Garden wrap-up is long since over. At this point, the Fall Garden wrap-up should be coming in soon. So nothing to do there. If the T-Nog Spring Garden wrap-up occurs next year, I'm going to do it as soon as possible. And you know, I remember a couple years ago, I don't know if y'all follow the everyday life of OCD's chick. I believe she did, I don't know, I know she did Outdoor Projects 2021. Don't know about 2022. If there's one for 2023, I'm hopping in on that one. The flies can be mad annoying. I agree, Toy Train Games. I'll say one thing about the flies is that the fly zappers took care of maybe a good 20, 25% of them. The rest of them, I hit them with my damn hands. Fly swatters were so annoying to use. I just hit them with my damn hands. I probably killed close to 2,000, 3,000 with that, with my bare hands. Flies are really mad annoying. They literally are out there touching dog crap and then track it all over your house. Come on, get off my food, flies. House flies are just as bad as those green ones. I bet you know exactly what I'm talking about. The green flies are the worst. They're really hard to kill. I don't know what they're actually called, but they're green. And do you want to know what's... I'm still confused about the WIG. Yeah. I don't know much about it. I'm going to have to figure out where it's starting at. I'm going to have to go visit like the hashtag source or something like that to actually figure out how to actually do this. Because, yeah, there's a couple contests I really want to enter, but yeah. And you know what? The one thing I want to try to see how I can do is go to a meetup. The one thing I want to do before the end of 2023 is go to one meetup. That one meetup I really want to go to is the Soil Family Expo. It's on April 1st, I believe, but at this point, it might be just too late to purchase a damn plane ticket. Because I believe it's near Savannah, Georgia. So, I know there's plenty of flights that'll take me down there. Like, I could order one right now, but it's still going to cost me hundreds of dollars, like $200, $300, $400 to buy one right now. As soon as I hear about them, it's pretty much too late to order the tickets to go there. Same with the Kentucky meetup. I really wanted to go to that one. I really want to. I think a lot of people are calling it different things. I heard the Highlanders Homestead Picnic, but there's a lot of people that are saying your income's limited. Yeah, I'd say a lot of people's income limited nowadays. So, yeah, plane tickets are mad expensive. But I know since you're in Texas, probably getting to Savannah, Georgia is probably like a good it's probably like a good 7 or 8 hour trip down the road. So. Maybe even 9 hours just to get there, so gas is going to be mad expensive. You're probably going to have to stop at multiple gas stations before and after there, so yeah, then you go for like 1 weekend and drive back. You drive 8 hours, go there, go back. It's 8 hours both ways, like 16 hours on the road. So yeah, it's a lot faster to go on a plane, because if you could catch a flight from Houston to there, probably be there in like an hour and a half. Here, it'll probably be about 2 hours, maybe 2 hours 15, 2 hours 20 to get to Savannah through a plane. It'll probably take close to 18 hours to get there. But there's so many meetups I really want to go to. It's just I never hear about them until last minute, so I can't go. I mean, I really want to go to the Soil Family Expo, though. Yeah, you're going to have to drive. It's probably going to be a long trip. Unless you can find something near you, then it's going to be a long trip down there. So, yeah. I mean, it'll be real helpful if someone just hosts a meetup in my state, man. Or at least a surrounding state like New York or Massachusetts. If someone hosts one in, like, I don't know, like, the Bronx, I could probably go there. I could probably just, it's like only, like, probably, like, close to 45, 50 minutes from where I'm standing right now. Just a normal car ride going down the roads at average speed, right from where I'm standing, probably, like, maybe, like, a good hour and a half at the most, if there's traffic, so 14-hour drive to get there, so 28 hours you're going to be spending on the road, so you'd be spending 28 hours on the road, So yeah, I mean a lot of gas prices and things. So I believe it's on the 1st of April. It's on a Saturday. I know that for a fact. So what I would do is I would of course have to film videos before I go there, and then I'd be in school on Friday the 31st, and then March 31st Friday, and yeah. I really want to do the East Coast. I really want to host something near me, or at least have someone host something near me. Like, man, I could go to something on coastal Connecticut. I'm probably like a good I mean, I'm probably like a good 45, 50 minutes drive from Milford. I could probably go there. So yeah, no cheat sheets, guys. No cheat sheets. So yeah, don't cheat. And I know there's some. I know a lot of y'all were pointing out that Mike Scattergarden was cheating on the last stream. I know he probably wasn't, but if he was, y'all pointed out something real big there. I didn't even realize I've been doing this for 41 minutes. I'm not even sure how I noticed that. But as I was saying, if someone did a East Coast meetup, I sure as hell would go. Even if it was in northern Maine, I'd still go. That's only like 4.5 hours. I mean, we live up here in northwest Connecticut. It's probably like a good 4.5 hours, maybe 5. And with traffic and stops, because I have little siblings, so probably maybe 6 or 7 hours. If I go to the Soil Family Expo on down in Savannah, I go to school on the 31st. I leave by I might even have to be dismissed early. Like, we end at 1. I'd probably have to leave by 12:45, and then we hit the airport. We'd have a flight maybe 4 or 5, and then yeah, that would be 2.5 hours of my life to go down there. But if we'd have to drive there. We'd have to leave by midnight Tuesday, which I believe is something like Friday's the 31st. I'm sorry, I'm doing math on stream right now. Math, bro. I hate having to subtract numbers. Yeah, we'd have to leave by the 28th night, the night of the 28th, to be able to get down there in time. So yeah, going to the expo would be a little hard, but I'd still manage to pull through. So yeah, but I bet you it's gonna be a fun weekend. And then we have to leave by Sunday night, because then I have school on the 2nd, because then I have school on the 3rd. So yeah, I'd have to leave by Sunday, and then to be able to drive back up, yeah, we'd not be back till early Monday morning at the very least. So yeah, be a long drive there and a long drive back. It would take us probably close to 72 hours to drive there and 72 hours back. Especially considering that we don't drive 24 hours of the day. So if we were to just do a straight drive down to Georgia, probably 17, 18 hours. But with all the stops there, it's probably closer to 2-3 days. So yeah, he wasn't cheating good, because I don't allow cheaters in my Trivia Tuesdays. No cheaters allowed in my Trivia Tuesdays. Yeah, he knows a lot about indoor gardening and a lot of gardening. And yeah, he does, I believe, arrow garden. And he knows a lot about gardening, apparently. Yeah, he knows a lot. Not apparently. I already know he knows a lot about gardening. And he's in a very low growing zone, so he has to do a lot of his gardening inside, and his outdoor garden is very limited to certain days of the week. So yeah, not certain days of the week, certain times of the year. They don't even get above 50, 60 degrees till the first week of June there. So yeah, and over here we break 50, 60 degrees by the first week of April. So, and then there's always that one day over here it gets real cold, and then real warm again for one day, and then the next day just snows. Yeah, happened back in February, the day before Super Bowl. It was really, really, really warm out, probably close to 75 degrees. It dropped down real cold that night, and by the next morning, it was already 4 inches of snow. By the end of the next day, there was 4 inches of snow on the ground. It got real cold again, got down to the negatives. Some of it melted off because of how cold it actually gotten. Like I was saying, the sun melts some of it, and some of it just vaporizes and they're real cold. And then the next week, they were saying we were supposed to get a lot of snow. We got another 5 inches. And yeah, most of it was gone by the time the first week of March rolled around. So yeah, you don't get warm until mid-May. Usually, April is a pretty cold month here, so we have to wear our jackets in April. So usually, it doesn't really warm up until about the last week of April or the first week of May. Yeah. I actually do a couple indoor growing gardens, like maybe like a green bean stalk or two. That's pretty much all we do. Yeah, it's really all we're gonna do in the winter. But this year I'm gonna try something new with the indoor gardening and some new scraps. See, I'm hoping it's gonna work. I don't know what's gonna play out at all this winter, but I'm hoping it's not gonna be absolute garbage. And I'm hoping that this winter we don't get a lot of snow. I've been talking about snow for most of the stream, just because I want to express my absolute hatred towards snow. Like, come on, man. If it snows a whole meter over here, it snows a whole meter over here. Because when it snows that much here, can't really do anything. Like, there's a certain point when snow, I'm pretty sure everyone knows what that point is. But we all set it at different standards. So my standard for when snow becomes no longer fun and just a pain to clean up is probably different than all y'all's. I bet you have different ones. For me, snow is really fun until you hit about 11 inches of snow. Snow's really fun probably until you hit about 10 or 11 inches of snow. And from there, it's really just useless white powder in your backyard. Because really, past 10 or 11 inches of snow, there's really nothing good about it anymore. Like, you have to clean that all up. You have to wait for some of it to melt to actually be good sledding. And then you have to hope that there's going to be some freezing rain if we get that cold. So yeah, y'all don't get warm till mid-May. We get snow all the way until the last week of April here. It's usually nothing big, like maybe like a little dusting over here. Maybe like a little dusting on the grass. Occasionally it's like 2 or 3 inches. One year there was 1 year on April Fools. They were saying, I think this was like 2013. They were saying we're supposed to get a light dusting to 1 inch of snow over here. And yeah, I don't think we actually got that much snow. Shit. I'm sorry, I'm dropping my phone everywhere tonight. Yeah, never really that fun when you have to take care of the animals. So yeah, I dropped my phone like 3 seconds ago. Sorry about that. So yeah, the one thing I will say about snow, it's not really that fun once it reaches a certain level of it. Like at one point or another, it's not really gonna become that much fun anymore. Because after a certain point in snow, really nothing happens. Really, it's just more work for you to have to clean it all up, and then from there, yeah, it's really hard to clean it up sometimes. And then sometimes we break our shovels early in the season, and we're too lazy to get more. So sometimes, yeah, it's really painful when you don't have a shovel. But back to my absolute hatred to snow, and as I was explaining back in April Fool's 2014, yeah, they're saying we're getting light dusting to 1 inch. And yeah, it was just supposed to be a really quick ban. I believe it's like associated with like some frontal system up north. And there was supposed to be a really quick band of snow right at the end of a rainstorm. We got that rainstorm on the 31st, and about 2 in the morning on the 1st, we started really lightly snowing, and then they're saying it's supposed to be over by the second hour. By the second hour, the storm started picking up steam, and we realized that band stalled right on over us. So yeah, sucks when you have a lot of snow, and especially when we talk about how we got just about 18 inches of snow from that. So yeah, snow sucks when you can't really do a lot with it. And then when it's late in the season, sometimes you have buds on the trees. So when that happens, the snow weighs it down, especially late season snow since it's all wet and heavy. It weighs it down, and sometimes, very rarely, we'll get snow in May. And when that happens, weighs it down all the way to the ground. It snaps the branches, causes power to go out, and yeah, late season snow and early season snow is not that fun. I'd say no snow until the second week of December. And then from there, I'd say no snow after the second week of March. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, cleaning up snow is not that fun. Especially when you have animals that you're going to have to take care of once the storm is done. So yeah, having to deal with snow, it's not all fun and games. People are like, oh, snow's the best. And then when they have to clear it off like 2 feet of snow. Yeah, it's not. Like, come on, they'd be out there saying, can you please give me like 3 feet of snow? And then when it actually happens, it's so underdramatic. Not really underdramatic. It's so underwhelming when you get a lot of snow and your expectations are set very low for snow. So yeah. Alright, we gotta have Go do dinner, wrap up for the night, sign out of the chat. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, y'all are down south, so y'all are probably a lot warmer than we are up here. It's still 53 degrees today. And yeah, I'd take 53 degrees any day of the year. Yeah, everyone else in the chat, hope there's still at least 1 or 2 people. The number up at the top of the screen is not that accurate, so yeah. Don't know how it's gonna play out today. Oh shit. That's the 3rd time this stream I dropped my phone, man. Keep doing it. It's probably gonna happen again. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Right now it's like maybe in like the low 40s or upper 30s. Oh, and I almost dropped it again. That's a problem, I guess. I don't know. We're at 50 minutes in the chat. And yeah, I'm just gonna make a quick announcement since I'm pretty much done talking about snow at this point. Like, come on. We spent 50 minutes talking about snow. I'd rather talk about something better. So yeah, I don't know how all y'all have been doing on these YouTube streets recently. Like, I know a lot of y'all are struggling on these YouTube streets. Some of them say YouTube's doing y'all dirty. So how has this month really been for y'all's channels? I know some of y'all are thinking that YouTube's doing y'all dirty, and I know it might be doing for some of y'all. So I know it's been a really rough month. My channel's growth has slowed down significantly this month, and a significant amount of my videos all of a sudden started taking 2 or 3 days to start blowing up. Usually it blows up instantly, but then all of a sudden it's starting to take days to blow up. And man, I was taking finals, took a whole week for one of my videos to actually blow up. So it's been a really weird month this December. And last December didn't really perform that exponentially. I'm actually very surprised with the very lack of growth on the channel. I bet if I was monetized, my videos would be performing exponentially right now. So yeah, I want to know, how's y'all's month been? I know it's been horrible for a lot of people. And yeah, YouTube's been doing a lot of people dirty this month. I know there's been a lot of people saying they were moving hours, they were moving views, they were moving likes. And they're doing some of that to me, not as much anymore though. I mean, they did remove a whole chunk of my hours. I was at 1.7K and now I'm at 1.4K, so just about 1.4K. So yeah, I don't know. I really need those hours right now. Because man, even if I make enough money to go buy a candy store to go buy a bar of candy from the Dollar Tree, it's still enough money to go buy the candy bar from the Dollar Tree. As long as it's enough money to buy something from the Dollar Tree, you know, I'm so proud of that. But at the very most, like, it's just been a really rough month for a lot of people out there. So yeah. Alright, let's continue going through this. So what was your most viewed video on y'all's channels? I know some of y'all are like 30 views and like, yeah, I've seen tuber chat before, but usually it's very hard to slide into those lives because a lot of the times he's doing lives when like I'm busy, so it's really hard. And then yeah, I really need those hours at this point. So he does help a lot with hours. I just haven't yet seen it happen yet. I've only been on like 3 or 4 of his chats. I've been on enough of his chats that he recognizes me when I pop in the chat, but like not to like the point where like I've been on the wheel before. I think I've been on the wheel like once, and that's pretty much it. But he does help a lot, and I know that for a fact. He's helped people get to 1K or 4K hours, and he's really authentic when it comes to the growth. So yeah, it's really helpful to see people helping you grow. But trying to find those people is a nightmare. There's a lot of people out there that'll help you grow and get those hours in, but it's a nightmare to have to find those people. And knowing what type of videos you make is really, really important when it comes to getting your hours. That's going to be tip number 1 of today, is that knowing what videos you make is going to be what helps you with your success. Like, come on, you can't be making videos for 30 different audiences. You have to be making it for one specific audience in particular. And you need to make sure that audience is responding correctly to the video. Yeah. Make sure audience is corresponding to the video correctly. And yeah. I'll say that once, is that you need to make sure your audience is correct and set correctly for those videos. And the next tip for growing on YouTube is going to be improving the quality of the thumbnail and the intro. The title and thumbnail and intro are key to helping a video success rate. If your intro's like, alright guys, so what's going on today? It was like 69 degrees out today, and last night we got like 3 feet of snow, and my new merch was dropped. It cost like $3 billion. Like, we don't want to have an intro that long. Like, I bet I already bored out 3 people on the chat already by talking about that. We need something very simple, like a very simplistic intro, like, alright guys, in this video we're going to be talking about X and Y, and then like a really quick intro. The attention span of the average person is 7 seconds, so we need to make sure that in that first 7 seconds of video, it's really high quality. It's really keen to those type of people. Yeah. And then the title and thumbnail, you also need to make sure that you are really good on that stuff. Most people are going to focus on the thumbnail first, so try to make sure it's not crammed to the maximum with text, but also make sure like there's not like a massive red circle with like 30 different red arrows pointing at it, because while that does lead to clicks, a lot of people click off in the first 2 seconds of the video. So yeah, make sure your title and thumbnail match correspondingly together. Same with the intro, first 7 or 8 seconds of the video is what's really going to help drive in the audience for those videos. Oh my god, that's like the 5th time I've almost dropped my phone this stream. Could have been like the 5th time I actually dropped it. I don't know. So yeah, performance-wise, it's really important to make sure you know what audience you're making videos for, because I know a lot of people are going to say, I make videos on all like 30 different things. And if you ask me what I make videos on back in April 2021, I would have told you everything, because back then I really was just experimenting. It looked like my chicken videos were doing significantly better than the others, so that's what I ended up sticking with. Occasionally I'll mix in some other videos, but at the same time, it's really particular or similar to my normal style of long videos, which I'm actually going to start to transition back to what it was a couple of months ago, educational chicken content and gardening content. That's what really did the best, so y'all need to make sure that it's been going well on that side. What's up, Tiny Farm Nuggets? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, I know it's been really rough this month for a lot of people. Last month in November, I think I gained like 300, 400 subscribers on my channel. This month I only gained like 115. So yeah, and I've only gained about 100k views this month, but I'm hoping next month's gonna be better for me. Usually in December, it's either a good or bad performing month. It all depends on if you're monetized or not for a lot of people. Because here's the cold hard truth, and this is not actually incorrect. It's actually been very much proven. A video is proven to do a lot better with monetization on rather than off, and if the channel is monetized or not. That's actually a truth, and it's actually been proven. Let's just say I upload a really good video about baking. It gets 2,000 views with no monetization on. But then I make a similar video with the same thing. Maybe I delete it, re-upload it because something went wrong. When I'm monetized, in that video I upload it, it gets instead of 2,000 views, it gets 2 million views. It's literally like it's a lot. There's actually a lot of proof behind that. So yeah, but sometimes they will promote your videos. You just need the right things. You need good hours. You need good subscriber return rates, which is never gonna happen on this channel. I don't think I'm ever gonna see another successful video on my long form videos again at this point because of the huge F up I did last month with my shorts. So this damn thing better be working. All right, good, it's working. I think I might need a new internet router, guys. It's actually yeah, I think what ended up happening to my Wi-Fi has been awful. It's literally better out here on the front porch than it is in my bedroom. And the front porch is further away from the router itself. And yeah, I still think I need new internet. I think my router is just garbage. Like, it looks like something you'd probably buy at like the Dollar Tree. That's how low quality it really is. So yeah. So yeah, it is really, really annoying when I have to deal with my slow internet. So you know what? It's sort of been a part of this channel for a while now. I have awful internet connection. Everyone knows that. So yeah, having to deal with this god-awful internet is one part of the stream. So yeah, I'm thinking there's an issue with my router. So yeah, I'm probably going to end up buying a new one soon. So yeah, it's happened ever since the damn old lightning strike hit the tree. And tried my old, actually good router. And then we had to replace it. We got a new one a couple days later. And this new one, it works, and then all of a sudden it stopped working. And yeah, now it just goes on and off and on and off. It's annoying. This damn thing better be working. I swear if it's not. Like, come on, man. It just starts lagging, and then it does nothing, and then like everything starts lagging, it turns off. You've been doing this for a whole hour now? I didn't even notice that. I've been out here for an hour on my stone wall. I'm probably gonna end this one off soon because the stream's pretty much run its course. I don't think anyone's actually gonna hop up on the chat, mostly because I'm pretty inconsistent with actually dropping the invite link in the chat. So if anyone wants to hop onto the chat, like I know some people in here don't usually hop on the chat, but if you do, everyone will hop up on the chat. The invite link should usually be in the chat, actually. And you know, if I'm doing a closed stream chat and I only want a couple people on, then what I'll do is I'll email it right to you. That's how it's gonna work around here. So yeah, if anyone wants to hop up, there it is. It's in the chat. So yeah, and you can just click it, and it'll take you right into the chat. I know if you're on mobile, it'll take a little bit to load. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about it. So yeah, here we go. All right, I'm gonna continue to We're basically going to continue talking about YouTube stats again. I know it's not really nothing to really exactly stress about, but you know it's gonna happen occasionally. So yeah, if y'all are subscribed to this channel and you like the chat shows, there's gonna be one thing I'm gonna say about these chat shows: is that my internet turning off and on again is going to be a recurring issue, and I have to sign out, sign back in, turn on and off the Wi-Fi router. So yeah, I think my internet router is garbage. Like, man, it must have gotten hit by a wiffle ball bat way too many times before, because nowadays it doesn't work like it used to. So yeah, we've been doing this for 63 minutes. I'm thinking about ending this one off soon, actually. I'm doing a good job. It's been a little bit since I've seen you in the chat. I guess people come on and off and then come back on the chat. So yeah, thanks for coming back in towards Brain Games. Even though I bet you're probably in the chat the whole damn time. You know, it just, sometimes people don't chat for a little bit, but they're still in there. They're just there to show you support and help you get to those damn hours, because the hours, I bet you, and I think, Tori, I believe you are actually at your hours before your 1K subs, and for a long time, it looked like that was actually even the case for me, but unfortunately it wasn't. I'm nowhere near my hours at this point, and at this point, every method I try fails, because they ever so much fail to actually promote my videos. But I bet you one of these days, I'm going to make a ridiculously low-quality video, and it's going to be my most viewed video in an instant. Like, I snap my finger, and it's already at 2,000 views, 3,000 views, 4,000 views. I bet you that's going to be the case. So, yeah, you're in the middle of work. That's probably why going on and off in the chat. But that's fine. So, yeah, doing that is going to be a recurring issue. And, yeah, the internet, turn it on, off. Be very careful on these streams. Usually, I'll come back on within a minute. It's a lot easier to do it with a co-host on the chat, I know. Significantly easier to do it with a co-host, because then they can sort of take over your role for like a minute or two. But then, once it's all done, then there's really nothing else to do in the chat. So, you're in the middle of work. So, yeah. I'm probably going to end up ending a stream off on that show. So, yeah, at this point, it's just getting way too cold out here. I've been out here for a full on hour, so... Yeah, you know what? No one's going to hop on the chat anytime soon. I bet your microfarmer's still on. I might not be hopping up on this chat show, but you know, I'm still gonna be in the chat like usual. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty much it. If anyone wants to hop on in the future, just be sure to turn on notifications if they still send notifications, because that's starting to turn to a useless feature out. You know,